Over 90% of the weight of a watermelon is composed of water, making it one of the fruits with the highest concentrations of water. So a 20-pound watermelon is more like 18 pounds of water and 2 pounds of melon. It's this property that gets a lot of love from people who say that watermelon is a great fruit for diabetics and weight loss. But is all this love for watermelon as a weight loss fruit justified? Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Young. Here's why I think watermelon is just a little overrated. So how did watermelon's reputation come about? Whenever you eat a watermelon or anything with sugars and carbohydrates, the sugar is going to be absorbed into your bloodstream. The speed at which sugar is absorbed into your bloodstream is called the glycemic index. The faster it's absorbed, the higher the glycemic index. Foods with more refined sugars and carbohydrates and less fat and protein tend to have higher glycemic indexes. So things like cakes, cookies, rice, and white bread all tend to have higher glycemic indexes. Generally, these foods are not great for weight loss since they can cause large spikes in blood sugar, potentially increasing insulin insensitivity and causing metabolic problems. Watermelon has a pretty high glycemic index. In fact, it has a higher glycemic index than most cookies or baked goods. But why don't we consider watermelon to be as bad as cookies for weight loss? To see why, we need to look at another measurement called glycemic load. Glycemic index only tells us a part of the story. It tells us how quickly sugars are being absorbed. Glycemic load tells us how much sugar is being absorbed. The more sugar or carbohydrate is being absorbed, the higher the glycemic load. In a lot of ways, glycemic load tells a more important picture since it gives us a better understanding of how a food will impact blood sugar levels. To use an analogy, did you know that dragonflies can fly at 55 kilometers an hour? That's 35 miles an hour for you Americans. A dragonfly impacting you at 55 kilometers an hour is going to be way different than a truck impacting you at 55 kilometers an hour. Why? Because the weight is different. A truck weighs thousands of pounds, while a dragonfly weighs just fractions of an ounce. Think of speed as the glycemic index and weight as the glycemic load. Watermelon may have a high glycemic index, but it's not going to have a huge impact on your blood sugar because it is such a low glycemic load. There just isn't that much carbohydrate. 100 grams of cookie has 64 grams of carbohydrate, while the same amount of watermelon has just 8 grams. So even though the watermelon is being more rapidly absorbed into your blood, the effect on your blood sugars and your weight is far less than a cookie. The contrast can also be seen with other sweet fruits like bananas or mangoes. 1 cup yields around 10 grams of sugar and less than 50 calories. In comparison, 1 cup of banana has twice the amount of sugar and almost 3 times the number of calories. So it is a fruit that can be consumed more frequently since its low glycemic load minimizes its impact on blood sugar. The large amounts of water help to fill your stomach better, and relatively low amounts of sugar reduces the impact of eating it. Now, watermelon is not the only fruit with a lot of water. Many fruits have a pretty comparable water content and calorie content to match. Not only that, many of them have significantly more fiber than watermelon, which helps to better bulk out your stomach and suppress appetite. Vegetables tend to have even higher concentrations of water and fiber, with ones like lettuce and celery surpassing 95%. You could say watermelon's greatest strength, which is being mostly composed of water, also happens to be its greatest weakness. The lack of fiber makes watermelon a fruit without much substance or bulk, making it a little less like eating a fruit and a little more like drinking fruit juice. Even the amount of beneficial nutrients in fresh watermelon, such as lycopene or citrulline, are quite low in concentration due to it being mostly just water. So if you were looking for a fruit with a very high water concentration and low calorie density, watermelon is really nothing special. At least nutritionally. Don't get me wrong, it's delicious, but culinary preferences aside, from a nutritional standpoint, there are better fruits for weight loss. So do you need to avoid watermelon? No, absolutely not. If you have a bit of a sweet tooth and find it difficult to cut out sweets, replace those sweet treats with a watermelon. If you find it difficult to drink enough water because it's too bland or boring and want to avoid sugary juices or pop, watermelon could be a good option. Just remember that when you're choosing fruits to snack on your diet on a hot summer's day, remember that watermelon isn't your only option. Strawberries, blueberries, honeydew, apples, oranges, these fruits are all great options as well. Don't forget to show them some love as well. Do you have watermelon on your weight loss diet? Let me know in the comments down below, and if you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the channel and leave me a like. Hit the notification bell if you want to stay up to date, and share this video with someone you know can use the help.